Industrial and economic cities. The first boom in the mid-70s saw the rise of the two first economic cities, Yanbu and Yabeil. The government gave special incentives for industry to be located in these two cities. Note also the location on the map. We have one on the east coast and one on the west coast. For those of you who are with us for the first section, remember I talked about the three different regions of Saudi Arabia. There's no surprise they didn't put one in the middle. Because all the industry or all the economic activity has always been in either the west or the east coast. Today, both of them are successful industrial cities. Both house several multi-billion-dollar projects with more on the way. For instance, I'll give you an example. Aramco and Exxon opened one of the biggest refineries in the world to the tune of $10 billion there in 2000. If you remember from the previous page, previous section, I talked about refineries. Both Yanbu and Jubail have right now large refinery and petrochemical projects underway. A new industrial city is called Ras Al Khair. It's also known as Ras Al Sahur or Ras Asur, or better known for us Westerners as Mineral City. The name has been changed. It's one of the reasons why there are three names for it. So I will prefer to use the word Mineral City from now on. There's been many industrial cities since Yanbu and Jubail, but they're the most famous, and this one I'll use several times throughout the different sections. Mineral City is an industrial city and port currently under development on the eastern coast of Saudi Arabia, roughly 60 kilometers north of Jubail. As I said, that was an introduction for Mineral City. We'll return to that several times. Economic cities. They have a special mission. They're similar to the industrial cities, but they're far more comprehensive. They're supposed to be cities, complete cities, each with its own mission. So far, there's been a lot of talk about them, but less action on the ground. As I said in my introduction, I will not speculate too much on what will happen. Maybe in a few years, these economic cities will be the center of the Saudi economy, but today they're not. Originally, there were supposed to be six, or there are six that have been planned. There are four who are currently underway, the green ones on the map. And even these ones haven't really gotten that far. That's why I won't spend too much time on them. Because if they actually develop all the plans they have, it will be quite amazing. If you look at the way it's spread out in the map, this is also a tool for regional development, or what we in Norwegian would call distriktspolitikk. Saudi Arabia has been plagued with a problem that too much of the economic activities is centralized in few areas. Therefore, these economic cities are spread out, some in the traditional economic city or areas, some in the more remote areas. I'm going to talk you through these cities, or at least the green ones, the ones that are on their way. King Abdullah Economic City. It's the one located midway between Mecca, Medina, and the commercial hub of Jeddah. Let me get my cursor going there. This should be placed right next to King Abdullah's Economic City. It is being developed by Emaar. It's a Saudi listed company. King Abdullah is the by far most advanced of the economic cities. Talk a little bit about that one. It is, like I said, it's not a standard industrial city or just like a regular economic free zone, which you might have heard of in many different countries, but real cities. King Abdullah is supposed to have roughly 2 million inhabitants by 2020. I'm unsure if they'll reach that goal. 2020 is quite an optimistic target. I'll walk you through the different sections in King Abdullah Economic City. They have a seaport. There's an industrial zone. There's a central business district, a waterfront resort area, an educational zone, and a residential zone. The port by itself will be one of the biggest in the region. So I'm saying there is a full-scale city. Quite close to the city, you also have KAUST, which is King Abdullah University of Science and Tech. The Knowledge Economic City is situated in Medina. The cursor's on top of it there now. This seeks to develop the kingdom technology base. Prince Abdulaziz bin Musad Economic City, or PAMEC here, is in Hale, 720 kilometers north of Riyadh, and it is slightly smaller in land size than CAC. And now the city will be developed also by the private sector, headed by Rakisa Holding Company. In the south there we have Jisan Economic City, which intends to become another all-inclusive city similar to King Abdullah Economic City. JEC is about 725 kilometers south of Jeddah, and will have its own desalination plant, power plant, generating 4,000 megawatts of electricity. Like I said, this is just a very, very brief introduction to these economic cities. The government has very ambitious plans for these cities. As I said, there's not much going on there right now, or hasn't happened that much yet. But I would recommend, if anybody's listening to this in the future, to recheck what I said here, and this might be some of the more spectacular projects in the future. That ends this section. We will continue with economic diversification and industrialization part 2. Thank you for listening.